Okay, so today I've always wanted to make a video like this where I do a tier list, and for those of you that know me in real life, I am a massive Call of Duty Zombies fan. I haven't really talked about it much on the channel or on stream, but I'm making a zombies tier list and this is just personal. Don't take these opinions seriously. These are my opinions from what I've played and what I know, and I shout out to whoever made this tier list. And for this video, I'm gonna be putting footage of these maps. I'll try to layer in some footage, and anybody's footage that I use, they will be linked down below. And now we're gonna start it off with uh, with the first map to ever release, Nacht der Untoten. Now, um, listen, I'm not gonna be sweet about this. It is the very first map, and honestly, I feel like there needs to be another tier here because I'm gonna use C as like average position and say B is above average, and I'd say Nocturne Tone is a perfectly average. Like it's the first map ever to come out, so you can't. I don't think you could. I don't think it's fair to put it in F, even with all that we've seen later on. Because it's just it's the first map. I don't like. There's a lot of great memories I have on this map. Like you never buy the staircase in the middle, so you can camp up in the area and camping for as long as you could. And then when Black Ops 3 came out with Chronicles, I remember, going with gobble gums, and I think me and my friend made it to like 80 something on Noct in Black Ops 3 using gobble gums, and it was just great time. I would definitely always pick Black Ops 3 Noct over Black Ops 1 or even World at War because although there are the gobble gums on the map, you don't have to use them. Like it's fully optional, and I've played plenty of games where I didn't use any gobble gums, had a fun time. Obviously, it's much harder to go for high rounds in Black Ops 3 because in World at War you get the flamethrower. You kind of just run around in the spawn and you can go for as long as you feel like. But that's all I gotta say about Noct. Now for Verrucht, Verrucht is not one of my favorite maps, but in terms of atmosphere, this map has one of the best atmospheres of any map ever, I think. Um, the sound effects, like the screams, just the creepy vibe of this map is just beautiful, chef's kiss. I'm gonna put this at B tier. I think it is an above average map. I think it is one of the best from World at War. Which we still have two more left. So Shino Numa. This is probably going to be a bit of a controversial pick, but I do not like Shino Numa. I've never really liked the map. I've I think the zip line is not really that useful. Like you rarely ever use it, and half the times I've ever used it, it's gotten me killed. I hate getting slowed down every 5 seconds when I run through the swamp. Which I mean, you can make that same argument for Origins, but we'll get to that later. Is Origins on this list? Yes, it's there. We'll get to that later. And I'm gonna skip right past Shino. Actually, should I defend my opinion on this? I don't. I think the atmosphere is great on Shino. I do love it, and it has one of the best training spots of any map from World at War. But I just, I'm gonna be a bit nice. I'm gonna put it in D. I don't think it's the worst map we've ever had. I'm gonna save F tier for the real bad maps. But remember, this is my opinion. This isn't like definitive. Oh, this is the definitive zombies tier list. This is just how I feel about these maps. And now, Darius, S tier. I love Darius. It's just a straight classic. I do honestly prefer the giant a bit more, um, just for like the extra little Easter eggs and you know having the Flogger Easter egg be a bit more, and having the Annihilator you can get in the furnace. Like I like the extra Easter eggs to it. Um, I love that you can get a fifth perk by using the robot. I love all the extra Easter eggs they added to it, for the giant. But Darius by itself is S tier, great map. And that's World at War. Let's move on to Black Ops 1. And for Kino, I'm putting it in A tier. I love Kino. Kino is for sure one of my favorite maps. Um, I don't know if I want to keep saying favorite. It's definitely a map that I enjoy playing. Um, it's definitely a map I enjoy playing. But in terms of like it being one of the best maps, I think it is a bit overrated for nostalgia reasons. I think it is a great map. You know, actually, I'm gonna put this ahead of Verruct. Actually, I'm gonna put it above average because I don't think like it's definitely a good map. It's one of the better maps that we've ever had. I probably sound so dumb right now. Okay, I'm trying to calculate my thoughts here. I think it's just a good map. I'd really have nothing else to say. Let's move on to five. Five. This is gonna be another controversial one. I do not like five at all. This is actually gonna be my first F tier. Um, I don't enjoy Black Ops 1 5. I do not like. Classified I enjoyed, but 5 I never enjoyed it. Like the characters in 5 are top tier, best characters I've ever had, but in terms of the map itself, I never had fun on this map, and this map is one of the hardest to go for high rounds on, and I just don't enjoy it. Now, Ascension, we're going to also put this in above average here, and we're going to put it right in between Kino and Verruct. I think it is one of the most unique maps we ever had. With the rocket, like in the multiplayer map, the rocket launches up, you can destroy it with the ray gun or explosives. I think that is one of the coolest parts. And this is also, I think, the first map to have like a full-fledged like Easter egg storyline, like all the way through. This is the first map to have like a full-on Easter egg. So for that reason, it does definitely deserves the above average here. Now, okay, this is gonna be I'm gonna apologize now ahead of time to Lex. I'm sorry, Lex, but I don't like Call of the Dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lex. I feel like this is a cardinal sin to say this, but I don't like Call of the Dead. I don't. My first time playing Call of the Dead was actually my first time ever playing zombies, which was over at my friend's house. And Call of the Dead was the first map I ever played. It was cool at the time. But over time, I never find myself choosing to play this map. It's definitely one of my last picks. Like I'd pick Shino Numa over Call of Dead, which is why I put it behind it. So I'm sorry, Lex. That's just my opinion. Shangri-La is another interesting one for me because Shangri-La is especially with Chronicles. Shangri-La is one of the most beautiful maps we have ever had. But I'm not basing this on how the maps look. I'm basing this on what I choose to play and what I like over other maps. And for that, I also got to put Shangri-La down at the bottom because I cannot for the life of me get high rounds on this map. I suck at Shangri-La. I am awful at it. I think my highest round I have ever reached on this map is like 25 or 30, if that. Like, I am absolutely terrible at this map. But it is a beautiful map. It has one of the coolest Easter eggs in my opinion, one of the hardest Easter eggs, and it was very unique, requiring a full group of people and having to coordinate like very heavily, having to have great teamwork. And for that, it's definitely up there in terms of the best maps of all time. But for me, it's I don't like it. And now for Moon. Moon is kind of the same way. I don't find myself playing Moon a lot, but Moon is definitely the one of the coolest maps we've ever had as well. Like running around on the moon with the zero Gs, the Easter egg where you blow up the Earth, like everything about this map, and it's even the finale of Black Ops 1 leading into Black Ops 2, like everything about this map is fantastic. But again, it's not one of my favorites, but in terms of all these, I will play it over all of these. Now, this is how I'm gauging it. I'm gauging this list based on what I choose to play. And now that I'm starting to think about it, if I'm going to end up using that criteria, honestly, I would have it like this instead. I would move Knockdown here for sure. I would for sure move Knockdown here because I'd play Knocked over Shino. I would play it over Call of Dead and these two on the bottom. I think this is a much more accurate of what I would play. Now, this one, this one might be the most controversial, and that is Transit. Now, I know that damn near 100% of the zombies community hates this map, but I kind of enjoy it. Now, if Lex sees this or Noah sees this, they're probably gonna say I have a terrible opinion, and my opinion is is based in trash. But let me explain myself. Black Ops 2 was the first Call of Duty I ever owned and played. Because yes, Call of the Dead was the first zombies map I ever played, but I didn't own Black Ops 1 before Black Ops 2. I went back and I bought World at War and Black Ops 1 for my Xbox back in the day, and I played the shit out of the maps on there. But and yes, I realize that this is probably just purely nostalgia, and I understand that, but I don't know, like, yes, the map has its problems, but I always kind of enjoyed myself on this map, even with the bullshit, and I enjoyed finding a way around it. But one thing I must say is fuck the denizens on this map. Fuck those little goblin fucks, goddammit. I hate them so much. I'm sorry if I hurt your ears, but I hate them so much. But at that same time, I would not play it over Moon. I would not play it over Verruct. Honestly, it's safe to say I wouldn't play it over these either. I think this is the perfect spot. Now, granted, it is one of my it is, like, for nostalgia reasons, it holds a good place in my heart, but as a map, it's just not very good. Now I thought, with me saying this is going to be controversial, I bet you were expecting me to put it up here, but no, I realize it's a terrible map. I just have attachment to it for nostalgia. Now, Nuketown Zombies is another one that is a bit controversial that people didn't like, but I'm putting this in A tier. I would Nuketown Zombies was, like, before Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, and Barry came out. This was my most played map in Black Ops 2. And speaking of Town, all these, let me actually put these up here too, because I did play Town. Town was probably my most played, and I'd say I'd put it right about here. In terms of Farm, I never played Farm. Farm is one of the last maps I would play, so I'm putting it down there. Bus Depot as well, never really liked it. And honestly, I'd probably say Bus Depot is probably the last map I would ever play. But yeah, Nuketown Zombies, I enjoyed it. Like, the RNG can fuck you because you can go until, like, round 30 without ever getting Jug if you survive that long with the 2-hit system in Black Ops 2. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very cool concept, to have arguably one of the most, if not the most popular multiplayer map as a zombies map. And I enjoyed it. That's all I gotta say. Now, Die Rise is another one that I actually enjoyed quite a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I know a ton of people hate this map, but I really liked the Wonder Weapon. That's something I really want to add. The Wonder Weapon on Die Rise is one of the best, well, not, I wouldn't say best, but one of the most unique Wonder Weapons we ever had. In Zetsubo no Shima, we kind of got, like, Slickofire Mark II with the Wonder Weapon there. And I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this, because I would choose to play this map over a couple of these for sure. Definitely over Moon, I think. So it's got to be in B tier. I think it's got to be at the bottom of B tier, because I'd play all these over it for sure. But I enjoyed Die Rise. I thought it was good. Like, looking back, it's definitely not one of the best maps. That's obvious. I think I can agree with that. Again, sentimental reasons. I love Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is honestly probably my favorite Call of Duty as a whole. Multiplayer, campaign, zombies, all of that. So Die Rise is going there. Now, Mob of the Dead, S tier. Mob of the Dead is my favorite map.
That's Noah! Bro!
I love Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead is a map that I return to regularly. I don't have Black Ops 2 on the PC because Activision refuses to drop the price on PC Call of Duty games. And I don't have my Xbox 360 anymore, but I do have the PS3, and I have Black Ops 2 on there with Mob of the Dead, and I load that up at least once a year. Because, pulling out the PS3 and plugging it in and setting it up and unplugging, everything else is just a pain in the ass. But whenever I load up Black Ops 2, Mob of the Dead is always my go-to. I rarely play any of the other maps, and with, Black Ops 3 having Chronicles, I don't need to play Black Ops 2 for Origins. Yeah, Mob of the Dead is up there. Buried as well is another really good map. I'd say I put it here. I would definitely play Kino over Buried, for sure. Buried has one of the best and more unique Wonder Weapons as well with the Paralyzer. The Paralyzer is fucking fantastic. It was so cool. You could fly with it, like, incredible. I loved it. And I realize I'm moving very quickly through these, but there's a lot of zombies maps, and I don't want this video to be an hour long. But moving on to Origins, again, S tier. I love Origins, and I would play it over Derice. I would play Mob of the Dead over, actually, I think I would actually play Origins over the Mob of the Dead. the stabs, the Easter eggs, the tank, the robots, everything about this map, like the Panzer, the OG Panzer, not the Black Ops 3 Panzer, but the Black Ops 2 Panzer. Oh my God, you hear that man coming and you're fucking shitting your britches. You're fucking pissing on yourself. That motherfucker was terrifying. I have PTSD from playing that as a kid. Like, holy shit.
What does the siren signal like?
Oh shit!
That it scared the shit out of me every time. Every time you hear that fucking noise, my God, that shit was horrifying. Origins top tier, the stabs, everything about this map incredible. And Shadows of Evil again, S tier for me. I don't think the hardcore community as much, but a lot of the casual community hated Shadows of Evil. Very like Easter egg kind of focused, and you had to do a lot of setup, and it was like, but you know, if you play zombies a lot, and if you're a zombies veteran, like you can speed run the setup in Shadows of Evil by like round 5 or sooner, round 1 even. Like it's not that hard to set up once you learn the map. And Shadows of Evil was actually one of my most played in Black Ops 3 before the DLC started coming out. I almost exclusively played Shadows. Every now and then I would pick up the Giant, but I almost exclusively played Shadows. All my friends would only play the Giant because they didn't want to do all the nonsense. But I've always been mainly a solo player, and I loved Shadows. My biggest problem with Shadows is that you can't really do the Easter egg solo, and I'm big on that because I play solo most of the time. And moving on from Shadows of Evil, beautiful map, tentacles all the way. Drak, again, S tier, and I'd put that right here. Drak is arguably by a lot of people one of the greatest maps ever, and I can agree with that. I don't think it's the greatest. I still prefer Mob of the Dead over it. The bows on Drak are some of my favorite wonder weapons, and I remember getting them all solo for the first time in a game was so satisfying. And one of the ones I always had the hardest time with was the firebow, because I always fucked up the shots for like the big jump from the regular map to the launch site. I always fucked that shot up. But Razzdd, incredible map, great Easter egg, and the first map where we kill off one of the old characters moving forward through the Black Ops 3 storyline. One of the biggest maps in terms of storyline, because that's when we really start to understand why Richtofen killed his other version and why we're on this journey. Or we won't even really understand why we're on this journey. Like Richtofen never really fully explains it, at least not at this point. And it really intrigues you. Like, and this is all storyline based. What I'm talking about. Like, I'm huge into the zombie storyline. But moving on to Zetsubou no Shima, I think it's A tier. I like it. I like this map. I know a lot of people are kind of annoyed with this map, and it can get very annoying when you have like 15 Shreks chasing you down because you didn't get rid of enough spores. Like, the micromanagement can be very annoying. So actually, honestly, now that I'm reminding myself of what Zetsubou really is, um, I gotta put it down. I would not play this map over all these. I'm sorry. Yeah. I just reminded myself of all the fucking of all the constant micromanaging that you do. But honestly, I really do enjoy Zetsubou. It's definitely another one of my favorites. Now, Gorod Krovi. Now, this map is kind of like Shangri-La for me, where this is honestly one of the hardest maps for me to play. I don't know why. I've just always had a hard time getting high rounds on this map. Um, like as of I played it fairly recently. Like I played it like I think a month or two ago, and I was actually really enjoying myself. I think I got to like round 40 on that run, and I was really enjoying myself. So based on that recent experience, I'm putting it in A tier. I would definitely play it over Nuketown Zombies. I don't know if I would play it over these others, but it is definitely one of the best maps, and that's all I gotta say about Gorod Krovi. Come on, like the hype when this map came out. Like, hold on, I'm gonna get into this. Like when the PP got revealed, like I literally jumped out of my chair and started yelling at my computer. Like I was so fucking hype for this map. And the fucking dragon, the fucking riot shield where you can shoot at the zombies, the little gauntlet, like everything about this map was fucking fantastic. It's still definitely one of the hardest for me, but it's definitely one of the one of the definitely I think probably the best map of Black Ops 3 if I'm being honest. And now moving on to Revelations, this is this is probably a controversial pick. I do not like Revelations. I do not. Um, for storyline purposes and Easter eggs, it's obviously the finale of Black Ops 3, so it's very important. But out of all of these maps, this is definitely my least played. I have booted up this map probably 3 times. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know what it was. Like all the wonder, like you could get all the wonder weapons. You could pack a punch the Marastagua. Like that was really cool. But I never enjoyed it. I don't know what it was about this map. I preferred the other maps in Black Ops 3. And then when Chronicles came out, I was playing all of that. So I don't know. I never find myself wanting to play a game of Revelations. All right, now we're on to probably the most controversial section of this list, and that is the Black Ops 4 maps. I don't have much to say about a lot of these because I didn't play much of Black Ops 4 because I, I hated the game engine. But like, even though I hated the game engine, Blood of the Dead is honestly the only map I really liked, and I would definitely play it over Nuketown. I don't know if I'd play it over Garage Crovey. I would never go back to Black Ops 4 now, so just for that reason, I'm tempted to put it down here. But I do really love this map. If I ever ended up downloading Black Ops 4 again, this would be the only map I would play, probably. Um, and I'm kind of the same with Classified. Classified, I feel the same. I really like Classified. I enjoyed it. I think they did a good job of re-implementing the Winter's Howl and actually making it somewhat useful. Whereas in 5, it was if you pick that up, you're throwing the game. Let's be honest. That's honestly where my enjoyment of Black Ops 4 maps kind of ends. 9. Actually, maybe I'm lying. 9 is actually very enjoyable, but in terms of picking it over any of these maps, I'd pick it over Die Rise and everything else. And Voyage of Despair, kind of the same boat. I do not like this map. This is a hard one to place, though. I do not know where I want this one to go. I think, honestly, I would play this over 9. I would definitely play Voyage of Despair over 9 just because of the Wonder Weapon. I honestly really did enjoy the Wonder Weapon in Voyage of Despair. Even though it was very basic, it wasn't like the most unique Wonder Weapon we've ever had. And I think Voyage of Despair has one of my highest rounds in Black Ops 4 because I think it was Voyage of Despair, Blood of the Dead, and Classified was really the majority of what I played. I played 9 as well whenever my friends wanted to play because let's be honest, some of my friends were fucking garbage at zombies, and 9 was just the easy pick. Dead of the Night, no. Ancient Evil, no. Pretty much outside of 9, all of like these two, I did not enjoy the Chaos maps at all. I did not enjoy them whatsoever. And it may be because I'm like a Treyarch purist and Aether storyline purist, and I just really enjoy the Aether stuff way more than anything else. And I would definitely play Revelations over these two. Like, I don't know which one. Dead of the Night's definitely at the I don't think anything's going lower than Dead of the Night. I'm gonna be honest. Actually, nope. I'm gonna skip Alpha Omega for a second. Tag Der Toten's gonna be at the bottom. And again, this kind of harkens back to me not even liking Call of the Dead that much, and I enjoyed Tag Der Toten even less. I didn't like it. And I'm not going to get into how I feel about how the storyline ended for Aether. I'm not even going to get into that because that's going to be controversial, my opinions on that. But in Alpha Omega, honestly, I'd put it down here too because once I did the Easter egg on this, this is a great story, and I wish I would have recorded this game. Like my first or like third, somewhere between my first and third game on this map, I completed the Easter egg with a full team of randoms and no communication. It might not have been like my first or third game. Whenever the Easter egg like tutorials came out, I watched. I'm pretty sure it was Codename Pizza's Easter egg video. Might have been somebody else's. And I went to an online match, like public match, and I just started inputting the codes on the little code thing, and everybody understood what I was doing, and we all just kind of had an unspoken Easter egg run, and we completed it, and it was great. Honestly, this is one of the best experiences I've ever had in a Call of Duty public match, in a Zombies public match. Ironically, it was in my least favorite Call of Duty Zombies, but I would still never play this map again. I'm gonna be real. D Machine, and I feel like I'm definitely contradicting myself in this list quite a lot, but I don't give a fuck. It's my list. It's my opinion. You can say what you want. Now, D Machine, I think is is an average map. I would definitely play it over Moon. D Machine probably has the most amount of time played for me in Cold War. And I mean, just based like obviously D Machine is a very average map. It's a very, bottom line average zombies map, but the Cold War engine makes it so much better. Like the Cold War engine is just so much fun. It's so addictive to play. Now, we're gonna jump forward to Firebase Z, one of my favorite wonder weapons, and honestly I think it is better than D Machine. I would definitely put it up here, but I didn't play it as much. Definitely played D Machine more. I just enjoyed the Cold War gameplay so much. I just wanted to casually run around, and I was camo grinding mostly on D Machine. Like by the time Firebase Z came out, I already had Dark Matter, so I kind of slowed down a bit on the playing, and once I completed all the Easter eggs, I kind of just quit after that because I went back to playing Black Ops 3 and custom zombies on PC. Now, Mauer der Toten actually has arguably my favorite. Not, I wouldn't say favorite, but the most fun I've ever had with a wonder weapon was the pistol on Mauer der Toten. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well implemented, where you can pick up the different ones off the ground. I very much enjoyed how that was, and I honestly think it's more fun than Firebase Z. And honestly, I'd probably play it over these. I'd probably play it over all of these. I think right there is a good pick. Outbreak, I'm sorry, but I did not. Outbreak was cool. It was a cool concept, but like Transit, it wasn't really implemented well, or as best as it could be, in my opinion. Forsaken, I actually didn't play that much. I don't even think I did the Easter egg on Forsaken. I think I just watched the cutscene for it, because by this time in Cold War's life cycle, I had kind of gotten tired of Cold War, and I went back to playing other games and re-downloaded Black Ops 3 and started playing that again. So honestly, I would play it over all of these for sure, because the Wonder Weapon on Forsaken was really sick. So I definitely play it over all those. And here's my zombies tier list. Yeah, yeah, I think this is good. Um, I think I'm gonna move some stuff around and kind of figure out where exactly I want everything, and I'll cut back to when I've revised this. All right. I think this is where it's gonna be. I've moved a couple of things around. I moved Moon a bit higher up after thinking about it a bit more. Um, I've moved Town down here, along with Noct being a bit higher up, because I think I definitely play Noct over Town. 9, although it is, you know, definitely one of the best brain turn off maps. I, I'm not a big fan of it. Um, yeah, and I put Outbreak at the bottom because after thinking about it, Outbreak is definitely the last thing I would ever play in terms of zombies. And yeah, there's my list. If you don't like it, cry about it. I'm out. See you guys in the next video.